welcome back for another book review. We're trying a different angle to try and help with the lighting situation to see if that helps. So let's talk about this book today. It's still got glare. I tried, you know, just we work with what we got. It's winter. I don't have a lot of time in the daytime. Anyways, this book. So this is The Witching Herbs, 13 Essential Plants and Herbs for Your Magical Garden by Harold Roth. So as the title suggests, this book goes over 13 herbs, and when he says he goes over them, he goes over them. I think this is the most detailed account I've ever read. And like, it's not even boring because it's so much that like, you sometimes get little bits, but this dude has like a magical skill at the ability to describe these plants. I mean, we're talking like he's got like the garden brain and like the garden knowledge of like right down to like such a science that he's able to dumb it down for those of us who don't know what he's talking about, and yet also has so much information about how to plant these, how they survive, the like actual like sciencey bits of them, but again, in the nicest way possible, dumbed down for those of us who didn't go and get like a master's degree in biology for plants. Like he really knows his stuff. But then also you've got a little bit of the historical stuff. And again, it's not boring, but he goes into it in a way that you're like, whoa. And then how to use it, sort of. I give this a 4 out of 5 star. I was very impressed with this book. I really truly hope this author writes more books like this. We need him. Do more plants. You are the king of plants. Do this. Like, okay, the thing is that I wouldn't say these are essential plants and herbs for anyone. These are like poisonous plants. But also, I mean, given the new world, I don't know, maybe you need to start growing things. You never knew. But they're very toxic. They are definitely more poison path, which normally is not my thing. If you've been on my channel for a while, you know that I normally am not super big into that. I read every single page and was mesmerized. There's so much I didn't know. Like, did you know poppies are hella fucking toxic? Like, you can kill somebody with those. And like, because I'm starting on my cozy mystery series I'm gonna try and write, I'm just sitting there like, oh, no way. That's a good murder weapon. Because, you know, cozy mysteries, you gotta kill somebody and you gotta find a creative way to do it. That's a creative way. Did you know that? I didn't know that. I thought poppies were just pretty flowers. Apparently no, they're uber toxic. And like, they will make you stop breathing. I did not know that. I don't know that I ever thought about it. I genuinely just thought they were kind of a pretty flower. And he's like, they're one of the easiest things to grow, and like, we've struggled to grow them here. So apparently they just are not our thing. But also, like, I didn't know that. And like, there was another thing of like, oh god, what was it? I think it was Yarrow that was called like Tale of Werewolf. And he talked about how back in the day, werewolves were actually supposed to be like the protectors of the community, and they like shapeshifted to defend against like the evildoers, and then like, because the world got shifted from protecting the community to attacking the community. And again, my series is a cozy mystery series that's gonna be next year, and I want it to be a fantasy version. I want it to have fantastical creatures. And so I'm like, oh my god, did I just find my police force? Is it gonna be werewolves? Because like, you know, how do you figure out who's gonna be like the best for that, you know? But if there's a history for it. So anyways, there is a lot of random stuff in here that again, it's all over the place. Because it talks about just anything and everything, how to plant them, how needy they are, just all the stuff. There's always warnings of like, hey, don't kill yourself with these things. It is so good for this. And again, I don't think it's essential for every single magical garden, but if you're a poison path kind of a witch, this is for you. Also, just like, I feel like the other thing with this is that it does feel pretty advanced. And that's not a bad thing, and you don't need to be advanced to get into this book, but it holds your hand, but it's like a college, not even a college, a university professor at like the big colleges, like Harvard, Columbia, MIT, whatever, the big names, you know, one of those, and being like, hey, I'm gonna hold your hand as we walk through all of this information. That's this book. So it's advanced, but in a gentle way. Because again, the author walks you through it so well that this is 13. 13. Do you know how many of the books I've read through that it's like easily 7,500? 13. These are long, long chapters. He does such a good job. So I would recommend this if you are interested in herbs. This, I think, is a book you should read. Like, again, is everyone going to be on the poison path? No! But also, this gives you a really good context of how to judge other books, to be honest. Because, like, again, if the author happens to find this, write more books, please. Because I need you to do the not poisonous plants. And, like, actually, like, common plants would be cool. Tell me about my peppermint and spearmint and, like, you know, the little things that most of us witches be growing, like garlic, you know? Maybe not kill your neighbor things, but, like, it's so well written. And I think it was his first book that he's ever written, which is just like, dude. Yeah, it says Witching the Herbs is his first book, so my dude, you know how to write? You need to do more. You're good at this. Because truly, this like sets a standard. And I think it's a good standard to set because, again, he talks about the poison side of it. That, like, again, I would totally plant poppies because they're pretty. I didn't know how toxic they are. I don't know that many of the books talk about that. And, like, again, this very specifics. There was some that it's like, you gotta grow them. And it's like you get a package of them and you only want to plant like 3 per container because like you think they're not all gonna grow, but they do. And then they kill each other and then they become all weak because they're fighting each other and not spending their time like actually being able to like grow. I think it was a perennial because they like have a whole different system. And it's so good. I am actually really surprised at how much I liked this because, again, poison plants usually aren't my thing, but I learned a lot and I really need this author to write more books because he did such a good job with this. Like, truly, Mr. Roth, Mr. Harold, can you write more books, please? Because, like, dude, it's so good. I would love to know your thoughts on this one in the comments down below. As always, a huge thank you to my patrons. If you'd like to support me and get access to exclusive content, it's patreon.com/nightwillowcrafts. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I post every single day, and until next time, blessed be.